House Republicans are preparing to formally oust Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota off the House Foreign Affairs Committee. It's a response to a number of her past controversial and overtly anti-Semitic statements over the years. Now, look, I think Omar's awful. She said some abhorrent things, and I've criticized her many times. But the idea of booting her off one of the most powerful committees in Congress because you don't like the positions she's taken seems pretty nuts. Even Republican Matt Gaetz, who's faced a litany of accusations of racism and even faced an investigation recently, seemed to have reservations about ousting Omar.
I am undecided as of tonight as to whether or not I would vote to remove Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee, because it's one thing to do dangerous things to the country with intelligence. It's quite another to say, I don't like your viewpoint, and thus I want to remove you. I don't support that with DirecTV and Newsmax. I didn't support it when it was directed at my friend and colleague Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it makes me uncomfortable that the case against Ilhan Omar, isn't being subjected to any due process. Right? If they think that she's brought discredit on the House, there is actually a House rule where there can be an ethics investigation and there can be a resolution with due process.
The resolution, which Republicans modified to gain support from members who were on the fence, outlines comments like this one in 2019, when Omar, shortly after taking office, suggested that Jewish people in the American Israel Public Affairs Committee were buying political support, saying it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Omar later apologized after the entire Democratic leadership roundly rebuked her. She's also said some people did something in reference to 9/11 and called Israel an apartheid state. And as Republicans rightly point out, Omar actually compared the U.S. and Israel with the Taliban and Hamas, known terror organizations. Her comments go back to before she was in office. In 2012, she tweeted Israel has hypnotized the world while doing evil. And after all that, what does Omar say in response when confronted with her open use of anti-Semitic tropes and statements?
I might have used words at the time that I didn't understand were trafficking in anti-Semitism. When that was brought to my attention, I apologized. I've never compared or made any comparisons. What I was referencing was a case that was in front of the ICC. But to smear someone and their character, their love for their country, and the work that they get to do on a committee is wrong, and it is politically motivated, and in some cases is motivated by the fact that many of these members don't believe a Muslim, a refugee, an African should even be in Congress, let alone have the opportunity to serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee.
You know, it's too bad because I agreed with much of what she said, and then she starts the accusations of racism with her own accusations of racism.
It sounds like you're accusing Kevin McCarthy of racism.
I mean, I'm not making any accusations. I'm just laying out the facts.
In other words, I'm making the accusation. Joining me now is Republican Congressman from Ohio, Max Miller, who introduced the resolution to remove Representative Omar from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, thanks very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. All right, so look, as you heard in my introduction there, I am no fan of Ilhan Omar. But you guys really want to start booting members from committees for their wrong-headed beliefs?
Well, let's just be clear about something. And a lot of people are characterizing this as an opinion. She has targeted the Jewish people. She hasn't targeted just Israel. She has made anti-Semitic comments to a marginalized group within our country and globally throughout the world. If her comments were just pertaining to an opinion about Israel and some of the stances that they have taken throughout the Middle East and the world, then maybe agree to disagree on that front. But what she has done is it's all about the Benjamins, baby, talking about Jewish people. That is the main difference in the binary choice when you're talking about an opinion about a country and when you're marginalizing and going after, with dangerous rhetoric, the Jewish people. And that I will not back down from.
And I hear you on the distinction there, and I agree with you that there is a distinction, but she did apologize for the anti-Semitic comments. And it does seem to me like it does seem to me like you're going down a dangerous road here when, you're saying, oh, well, she made these comments, which she apologized for, and then we throw in the anti-Israel stuff, which you separated out from. I hear you. But at some point, if she apologizes and, recognizes that what she said is wrong, I don't know, you start going into this business of not serving on a committee because of this and that. It's just a dangerous business, no?
It's a dangerous business, and I completely agree with you on that front, but we're not the ones who started this precedent, and it was unprecedented when it took place in the 117th Congress.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.